represent your coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the best what we do, what we know. So let's go. Yo, yo, yo. CJ made it on the beat. Shout out to my son. CJ made it. CEEJAYMADEIT. Yes, search him up. Holla at the young man for the beats, man. He made all of them, man. Incredible producer. Been doing it for a long time now. Proud of you, boy. Keep up the good work. All right. Proud of all my boys, man. Oh man, they just make me so happy, man. They do, man. They do. And I do this for them also. But the NFL playoff picture, we got the NFL playoff picture, and I'm working on that. I'm working on that. All right. So shout out to the Chiefs and the Bills fans right now. I think they have clinched so far, looking so far so good with them. I gotta give it up to them. The Chiefs at the number 1 seed, the Bills at the number 2 seed right now. They looking pretty good. Like they might have this in the bag. They might have it in the bag right now. So we got we got the Chiefs sitting at 11-1 right now, and you got the Bills sitting at 10-2. And the remaining games for the Chiefs are, and I'll get those pulled up real quick for everybody up out there. Let me get that pulled up so everybody can follow along while we rocking. The Chiefs, Chiefs have the Chargers next, the December 8th night game, 8:20. That's going to be a battle. That is going to be a battle. Then they got the Browns. Ooh, then they got the Texans. Then they got to come to the Steelers. So the Chiefs' remaining schedule is, they absolutely could be possibly playing for their starters on Christmas. Playing for starters, bro. The starters absolutely may be playing on Christmas, bro, for both teams. I know for us, if we win the next 3 back to back, I think we'll be safe. And I think that you let Justin Fields come in and play at that point. That's just me. And I'm sure that that's what Mike Tomlin's going to be thinking. Like, all right, we got 12 out of the 17. We rocking out with that. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like we cool with that. We in the playoffs. It don't, like, you know what I mean? All that home field at that point, unless the Chiefs wind up dropping the next 3 or 4 games and the Bills do, then maybe we'll be playing for home field then. But until then, if the Chiefs and the Bills keep on winning, I think if we win the next 3, I think we chill. That's just what I'm saying. Like, all right, for the last 2 games, and let Justin Fields go in there and get that experience, like I've said before in another video. But yeah, this is the Chiefs' remaining schedule right there. That's what they got left. I think that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Then we had the Bills. I think we had the Bills. So we'll work on the Bills and see what's up with the Bills. Shout out to the Bills fans. It looked like they clinched so far, but we've seen a lot of crazy football things happen this year. We've seen it. So we'll look at the Bills schedule and see what the Bills got going on right now. Let's see what the Buffalo Bills got going for their last couple of games. For those who don't know and not are Bills fans, they got the Rams up next. Then they go to Detroit to play the Lions. They going to LA. Then they going to the Detroit. Wow. Then they got the Patriots at home. Then they got the Jets at home. Then they finish off up in Foxborough against the Patriots. I don't think that's an easy road. I don't think so. I think football just got a lot more interesting. I think it just got the NFL just got a whole lot more interesting. I don't think that's easy for the Bills at all. Going to go play Matthew Stafford and those Rams over there. That's not going to be an easy win. I don't think that they're going to roll over for the Bills. I know Detroit's not. I just know Detroit's not going to roll over. We know that. That's too early right now in December for those guys, for Detroit to roll over right now. Now, I don't know if they're going to play for home field advantage or not, neither, but that's right before the cutoff line. I think those last 3 to 2 games is where you want to chill if you already clinched a playoff spot. But who knows if the Bills want to get home field advantage at this point, they're going to want to play out the schedule, right? Um, because you got the Steelers, which we are what 2 games behind, a game behind them actually, because they got 2 losses, we got 3, so we're a game behind the Bills right now, and you got other teams that's creeping up in there. So the Bills got a decent schedule left as far as competition. I would say I don't think nobody's really gonna roll over. The divisional games is they're gonna play the Bills tough because those are divisional games anyway, and those guys get to play spoiler. You know what I'm saying? Divisional rivalry, the Patriots and the Bills. You know, we get to stop y'all from playing going to the playoffs, and we got y'all 2 times in the last 5. Like, yeah, it's gonna be tough, and the Jets too. Like, man, I don't, you know what I mean? It's gonna be tough. Like, you don't know with those divisional games how things are gonna turn out, right? So let's go to the next one. Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh yeah, my Steelers. We in the hunt right now, 9-3. We one of those teams right there, but we got the Browns. We have the Browns. And then we go to Philly. And then we go to Baltimore. Then we come home to finish off the last 2 games with the Chiefs and then the Bengals. Right? I know that's not easy. Our schedule was already ranked as being the toughest in the NFL preseason wise. For us to be sitting at 9-3 right now shocks a lot of people. Um, we just got to inch out these. We just got to get 2 more. 2 more. I said we will probably go 11-6. That was my prediction. Preseason 11-6. But I would be comfortable with getting 11 wins. I think that'll get us in the playoffs for sure in the AFC. I don't know if we want to try to play out the season for home field advantage. I don't know because we seen what the Bills look like right now. If the Bills wind up folding, then yeah, I guess so. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's when we go ahead and we turn up there. The Texans. And I'm going off the okay, so now I'll go over to Detroit. I'll talk about Detroit. Well, I kind of want to stay with the AFC right now, and then I'll go over to the NFC next. We see where Detroit and the Eagles are, but we'll talk about that right after I try to get through this AFC playoff picture. All right. The Texans right now, they're sitting at 8-5, and they're first in the AFC South. The AFC South is not tough at all. In fact, I think that's one of the worst divisions in all of football right now. Taking a look at their overall, that everybody's overall, the Texans 8-5, Colts 6-7, Texans, the Titans are 3-9, and the Jaguars are 2-10. Um, they could be very well looking to get another quarterback. At the Jaguars could be. I don't know. That is Florida, sunny Florida. Wouldn't put it past them. I think that they'll probably go after Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter in Florida going home. Jacksonville Jaguars close to home. I think he's right there. Or Miami. Or Miami. Wouldn't put it past them. Think so. Save that for another one, right? Save that for another one. Oh yeah, but the Texans will click on that. We'll see where their last couple games are going. They finish off with the Dolphins. They have the Dolphins next. Um, After their bye week, I believe they have a bye week first. Then they go play. Then they play the Dolphins at home. Then they go to play Kansas City at Kansas City. Then they go back home versus the Baltimore Ravens, and then they finish off with the Titans and Tennessee. Look, tough, tough. The last 3 is tough, nonetheless, because you still got Baltimore fighting to get in the playoffs, to stay in the playoffs. You got the Chiefs that probably still want to play for home field advantage. And then and Patrick Mahomes and those guys. And then you got the Titans, division rival game. They look too good, but I guess you could say that's a win. But this the NFL. These are professionals, and it's a division game. They possibly will want to knock them out. So at least 2 out of their last 4 games is going to be tough for them. And right now they're at 8-5. So if they drop 2, that'll drop them down to 7. They possibly be finishing off at 10-7 or worse. But they got to win out, right? They got to win out. They're sitting right there, number 4 in the playoff picture. The Chargers. The Chargers are at 8-4 and second in the AFC West right now, and I don't think it's getting no easier for nobody, man. It just isn't right now. It's really tough, and it's exciting, right? Because we've been getting a lot of exciting football from the college level and from the professional level also, because now it's coming down to the playoff picture. It's coming down to the nitty-gritty last 4 or 5 games for a lot of these teams. And as you can see, the Chargers, they have the Chiefs up next. Night game. They got it. They gotta win. The Chargers gotta win to stay in, period. They can't afford to lose. There's a lot of teams on their coattails, couple of teams on their coattails. They want to make sure that they able to keep that home field advantage in the first round, right? Maybe the same thing for us. I don't know how we're feeling about that. I think just making the playoffs is good enough. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna win, you're gonna win. Good defense travels, and the Chargers do have a good defense. Um, they're playing the Chiefs. Then they go, they're home, but they got Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay is not an easy out. Baker Mayfield and those guys getting it cooking. You see what they doing over there. You see what they're doing over there. Bucky Irvin running all crazy. Rashad White. Then they go play the Broncos at home, divisional rival game, and both of those guys are fighting to get into the playoffs. One of those guys got to lose. Possibly could be a tiebreaker type of game right there, tough one. Then they go up to Foxborough to play the Patriots, and then they finish off with a division rival game versus the Raiders, which is not an easy win for the Chargers. Period. It is ain't. I think they got it. I think they finish off in their division. The Chargers is going to be tough. That's tough for them. That is a very tough schedule for the Chargers. I respect what they got going on and what they're going on, but they have moved up one, I think. According to this, they have moved up one to number 4. I think that Texas have dropped to number 5 at this moment. I think that's what we got going on here, where you see the green one. And the Ravens, 8-5. I think they dropped down. The Broncos, I don't know if it don't look like they stay the same, but no, they've dropped down already. My fault. The Ravens and the Chargers already swapped places. Okay. So the Ravens were number 5, and then they moved down to number 6, and the Chargers were number 6, and they moved up to number 5. The Ravens have, I don't know their schedule offhand, but I mean, we've seen some of the teams that they're playing so far. So, but we'll just go ahead and we'll check it out again. Go to the Ravens real quick just to make sure that I'm on point with it. So they got the Giants, then they got the Steelers at home. They go to New York, then they got the Steelers at home. Tough game. Then they got the Texans that's fighting to get into the playoffs, and they got to go to Houston. Then they got the Browns at home, finishing off. Yeah, tough. Yeah, it's coming down to the nitty gritty, man. That's why I wanted to take a look at the playoff picture, because they did it. They did a good job. And then at number 7 right now, just getting into the playoffs, that last spot, the Broncos creeping up in there. That's a team that I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want the Broncos in there, man. But they're good. The Broncos is good, but they a scary good team. I'm not gonna lie. They creeping up in there. Y'all see? They creeping. They are creeping up in there, man. So we go to the Broncos real quick and see their remaining schedule. Who do they have left? They got to play the Colts at home. Then they go play the Chargers in LA. Then they got the Bengals up at Cincinnati. Then they finish off with the Chiefs at home. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You talk about a playoff picture and how exciting this playoff picture is taking off to be right now, how tough it is. It's not going to be easy for none of these teams. So now we go over to the NFC, man. I'm excited to talk about the NFC. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping with this NFC, man. NFC games. Let's get it. Let's get it, dog. All right. So we got a lot of the standings for the NFC picture. Let me get the playoff picture pulled up. I got that pulled up. All right. The Lions sitting at the number 1 seed right now in the NFC. And I don't look like the Eagles was on their toes, but there's a significant drop off between 1 and 2. Significant 3 games. So shout out to the Lions and the Eagles fans. It's crazy. I said Detroit would be here in a couple of years. I on a first take show one time. I said that. They called me crazy. Um, but I do have outlandish takes. I do, and I'm not afraid to speak what's on my mind. Because a lot of people are like to say, and I don't care what y'all think. I don't care. I don't care. Tell me later. Tell me later. But the Lions remaining schedule, just to look at it, right? So that 11-1. They got the Packers at home, the Bills at home. Whoo, 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 whoo. Then they got the Bears. Then they go to Chicago to play the Bears. That's not a rollover. Then they got San Fran. Then they got to go to San Francisco to play the 49ers. Then they finish off at home versus the Vikings. Yo. Wow. Wow. Exciting. We like, and that's why I wanted to pull this up so everybody could see exactly what we got going on. The Eagles, number 2 seed in the NFC right now as it stands. The Eagles, who are they finishing off their season against? And where's their last couple of games? They got the Panthers at home, the Steelers at home. Then they go play the Redskins and Washington. Then they got the Cowboys at home and then the Giants at home. I'd say their last 2 games is a walk, cakewalk. But you know, because both of those teams possibly would be tanking for better draft picks, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but their next 3 ain't gimmies. Well, the Panthers, and then they got the Steelers and the Redskins, right? So, bro, the Commanders. I don't want to get copyright strike for saying that word, bro. It's crazy. But yo, that's crazy, bro. That's wild. That is wild. They got like, so they pretty much in clinched. You see the dot. They probably, I don't know, they probably up in there, bro. I think so. I think the Eagles got one of the easier schedules so far that we've seen out of everybody's schedule. Who y'all think? Let me know down in the comments what y'all think. I think for sure the Eagles got one of the easiest ones we've seen so far. The Seahawks at 7-5, number 3 seed. That's crazy. That's crazy. 7-5, number 3 seed, number 1 in the NFC West. Wow. That's embarrassing, bro. That's embarrassing, bro. That is, bro. That's embarrassing. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. 7-5, you the number 1 seed. I don't know though, but there's a lot of football to be played left, but they don't have it easy. They do not have it easy. No way. They got the Cardinals. They have to go to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Then they're home versus the Packers. Then they're home versus the Vikings. Then they have to go to Chicago to play the Bears. Then they have the Rams. Then they have to go play the Rams division game. They don't got it easy. No, they don't. That put a lot more respect on that schedule. Very tough. They got to earn their way in. They got a 45% chance of getting in the playoffs. That's a tough schedule, bro. Tough. The Falcons, number 4 seed, number 1 in the NFC South at 6-6. And that's what I was talking about. And the Falcons got a 58% chance of trying to make the playoffs according to the analytics right now. That was last week, though. This has not been updated so far. But they are number 1 in the NFC South, which is wide open right now between them and the Buccaneers. Maybe even the Saints. If the Saints could win out, I think if the Saints could pull off a couple of victories, maybe they could be in that picture too. It's not far-fetched to say that at all. The Falcons have to go to play the Vikings in Minnesota. Tough game. Then they have to go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. I don't think that'll be a walkover. But then they got the Giants at home. Then they got the Then they have to go play the Commanders. Then they got the Panthers at home, which would not be a gimme division game. Um, yeah, yeah, the Falcons can't afford to really drop two more of the games out of these last five. They can't lose two out of the last five. They have to go 4-1. They have to go 4-1 in their last five games. That's why their win probability is where it is, and I understand that. It's going to be tough for the Falcons to get in there. They got a 58% chance of making the playoffs. Very tough. The Vikings, 10-2. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Shout out to them, bro. Balling. Um, they probably get in the playoffs, but they're number 5 seed in the NFC right now. And that's because that NFC North is just balling like crazy. And that's why you got the Packers at 9-3, the number 6 seed in the NFC, and then you got the Vikings 10-2 with the number 5 seed because they're second. Um, the Vikings, we've seen a lot of their schedules. I mean, you could probably get a picture for it, but still, I still would do like I do for everybody else because I just got it. I'm clicking on a lot over here. Um, they got the Falcons at home, then they got the Bears at home, then they go play the Seahawks, then they got the Packers at home, and then they finish off in Detroit. Wow, tough. And so that's very well made change for the Lions. The Lions got a they everybody they got a tough schedule too. They got it tough too. And that's why it's not locked down in the NFC just yet. None's really locked because a lot of these guys play each other. The Packers at 9-3 in the NFC right now. And that's why you don't have a lot of these guys locked down. But then we got the Commanders who are number 7 seed so far right now. That very well that can change. They got a 71% chance of getting in the Commanders. So we'll look at the Packers and see what the Packers got going on, just like I did for everybody else. Let's see what the Packers got going on, right? In the NFC and who's their last couple of games right now. Um, we just seen that they got the Lions at home night game Thursday, just this upcoming Thursday. Thursday they playing the Lions at Detroit. Good game. They got to win that one. Upset the balance also with the NFC North, and then they go to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Then they have the Saints at home. Then they go to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Then they finish off the season at home versus the Bears. Um, yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Not so easy for them. The Commanders, number 7 seed right now in the NFC, and then they have to finish off their season. And the Commanders, they're tough, man. They're tough. They're one of them teams who they're like the Broncos of the NFC. I don't think nobody want to see them, man. They're hot right now. They got the Saints. They go to New Orleans to play the Saints. The Saints are still trying to fight to win, so I don't think that will roll over. Anything can happen. Then they got the Eagles at home. Not going to roll over for them. Then they got the Falcons at home. Falcons are fighting to stay in first place. And then they finish off going to Dallas. Then they got like I don't know, division game, 2 division games, 2 that's not. I like it, but I think their chances is high. I think they could get in there. Not easy, not super hard. I think it's like, you know what I mean, 71%. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with the 71% chance of them getting in. On the bubble, you got the Colts, 6-7, second in the AFC South. Number 8 seed for the AFC, number 8 seed for the NFC. Buccaneers, 6-6, second in the NFC South. That could very well change. Um, do we want to look at the schedules? I could absolutely get those pulled up. I didn't know the bubble was on there, so that's why I did that. The Colts remaining schedule looks like the Broncos. They have to go to Denver to play the Broncos. Titans at home. Then they go to play the New York Jets. Then they finish off with the Jaguars at home. Was that easy to y'all? What do y'all think out there? Let me know. 27% chance of getting in. The Buccaneers. They're second in the NFC South right now. Let's see what where they're looking, what they look like. The Buccaneers. They play the Raiders at home, then the Chargers, then they go to play the Chargers. Then they got the Cowboys. Then they go to Jerry World to play the Cowboys. They got the Panthers at home. Then they finish off with the Saints at home. Crazy, man. Crazy. The Dolphins is on the bubble. Believe it or not. And so is the Bengals. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think we gotta go no deeper than the Bengals. Hey, but it could happen. If they went out, it could happen. And that's it. But I think that for the Cowboys are on the bubble at number 12. That's crazy. That's crazy. I think the 6-6 Rams is where the Bucks stop. I think that's where the Bucks stop. If y'all want me to, we could check the Cardinals. I'll check the Cardinals. But that's what that looks like, y'all. Look, this is what this looks like. The bubble. I mean, 3-9 Browns. I don't know, Jets, Titans, the Saints, 4-8. They gotta win out. These teams have to win out. You know what I mean? Everybody has to win out from this point forward. 2% chance of making it, 10% chance for the Dolphins. Don't think that's gonna happen. But we've seen crazy things happen, right? We've seen a lot of crazy things happen out there. A lot. But the Cardinals, I think that it's fair to look at and see who they have left because they are a tough team. I do like the way that the Cardinals play ball. There's been a lot of games, one-score games that they've been in that they've lost this year. Particularly, they beat the Dolphins. They did beat the Chargers this year. They lost to Green Bay. They lost to they beat the 49ers. But every game they lost, I guess they just got kind of blown out. And so I don't really want to see them. I don't know if I want to see the Cardinals in. But they got the Seahawks at home. Then they got the Patriots at home. Then they go to play the Carolina Panthers. Then the Rams. And then they got the 49ers at home. The Cardinals should win out. The Cardinals should win out. Let's talk. The Cardinals should win out. And if they don't, that could be an upset. But the Rams being the Rams, right? The Cardinals should win out. I honestly think so. I think they should win out. But that the Rams and the Cardinals game, that's gonna mean a lot. The Rams got the Bills, 49ers, Jets, Seahawks, and the Rams. They have a way tougher schedule ahead than the Cardinals. I will say that. The Rams playing the Bills, and them being a team right now that are a 20% chance of getting in, but being on the bubble, I don't think that works. I don't think that works for them because you got the Buccaneers, the Cardinals ahead of you, and for the Dolphins, they just have the Colts ahead of them for being on the bubble, but they're also got to worry about the Broncos. The Broncos are 8-5. These guys they're already 2 games behind. They have to win out. The Colts chances of winning out right now, I don't think that is looking too good. I honestly don't think so. And then I just don't think that their chances are looking good. They got the Broncos next. Then they got the Titans at home. Then they got the Giants, and then they got the Jaguars at home. I don't know. It may be. It's up to the Colts. It's up to the Colts. I don't think that is a super tough schedule. I think it's doable. I do think it's doable for them to possibly try to win that. The Dolphins. I think that I'm gonna take a look at the Dolphins and see who they have because their numbers. They're second in the AFC East right now, and they have the Jets at home. Then they go play the Texans in Houston. Then they have the 49ers at home. And then they go to Cleveland and play the Browns on the dog pound. And then they finish off the season with playing the Jets. So I think that's a doable schedule also. I do think that those are games that can be won by the Dolphins and Tua. I think that they can win those games. Um, we got to see what happens, but we got to see what happens for the Bengals. They have to win out. They cannot afford to lose a game. Period. They just can't. And that is what our NFL playoff picture looks like at the moment. I think that we're gonna get a lot of good football. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think. Get down there. Let's get the conversation going. What teams do y'all think that's gonna get in there? We got a chance of looking at everybody's schedule and seeing the remaining games, seeing how this playoff picture has already turned out. I think that is tough for a lot of teams. Um, and even the guys that's on the bubble, right? It's just not set in stone just yet for some teams. I think if you're in the hunt right now, such as teams like, the Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, and the Broncos, we got to win out. We can't afford to lose because there's teams that's 2 games behind us that could slide up in the picture that's on a bubble. And I think that their schedules are very doable. So looking at what the guys on a bubble have left, the NFC, I think, is a different kind of picture right now. Um, Not really. I guess you could say the same thing for the NFC too, to get into the playoffs, right? Kinda, but those guys are what, 3 games behind. The Falcons have to win out in order just to get a playoff spot. The Colts and the Dolphins, but we seen the NFC and they got some tough schedules over there. I don't see nobody's easy schedule. I can't remember what team that you think. What team do y'all think down in the comments that has the easiest path to the playoffs in the NFL? What team do y'all think has the easiest path to the to the playoffs in the NFL? We just went through all the schedules. Y'all let me know down below, man, in the comments, man. But y'all already know how I give it up out here, man. Another Trucker Chubby production. Peace.